Hi there guys, in this video we're going to have a look at the Cobra Mark 3. The Cobra Mark 3 has been in the game since the initial launch. However, it does have stiff competition primarily between the two different Vipers. The Viper Mark 3 kind of offering the same combat facilities, whilst the Viper Mark 4 kind of directly rivaling it on everything. I would say the shielding is actually stronger on the Mark 4. Out of the two ships, if you're looking at the Cobra Mark 3 and the Viper, I would probably edge towards the Viper because of its stronger shields. However, like I said, the Mark 3 is a pretty good all-round ship. So let's have a look at the outfitting. So the Mark 3, we have 4 hardpoints. 2 of these are medium hardpoints, which are directly in front of the cockpit on the top. We have a further 2 hardpoints, which are small, and they're underneath. Then we have 2 utility mounts for our kill warrant scanners, shield boosters, or etc. We have armor like every other ship we can put on. The reactor, we can fit an A4, which can give us up to 15.6 megawatts. This should be enough for most circumstances. I can't see you exceeding that too much with 4 guns, so it should give you a pretty good power plant. Jump drive, we get around about the 22. You could possibly get that up to 23 or 24 possibly. That should give you a pretty good range on most things. It's not going to beat some of the other ships with a bigger jump drive range. However, it's a fairly decent jump drive range. Next, onto our internal compartments. We have 4 class 4. We have 3 of those. This is for obviously put your shields or whatever you want to do. Then we have 3 class 2 slots, which are these 3. So let's have a look at the outside of the ship and the cockpit. Obviously, the cockpit wise, it's not too restrictive. We do have a seat here for possibly another person. Apart from these kind of couple of bars across the screen, though, it's not particularly a bad visibility. So the ship itself, obviously the Cobra Mark 3 being an iconic ship throughout the whole of the Elite franchise, obviously it's not going to be completely that much different. It's going to obviously look a lot more detailed than those in the past. Like I said, I remember using the Mark 3 Cobra in the older Elites, and like I said, it wasn't the best ship in the game, but it was one of the best general all-round ships. And that's still kind of the case now, but obviously in its price bracket it can't rival some of the bigger ships in, for example, trading or combat. But it does a fair job in what it's doing in its range. Like I said, for the kind of 3 points, the fighting aspect, it kind of gets rivaled between the two Vipers. This Viper Mark 3 obviously being the cheaper fighter, whilst the Viper Mark 4 kind of being the more expensive version of the Cobra in fighting. It's like I said, I would probably edge towards the Mark 4 Viper because of its slightly stronger shields. For trading, the Mark 3 Viper is not going to offer a decent trading facilities whatsoever, so I wouldn't look at that. I would look primarily between the Viper Mark 4 and the Cobra Mark 3. Between the two, again, I think the Mark 4 has a slightly bigger trade facility, but there isn't that much in it. I think there's only 10 units, although at this stage of the game 10 units could be a bit of a big deal. So it's probably, I could say, if you're looking at trading, look at the Viper Mark 4 again. As for exploration, I kind of wouldn't recommend this ship for exploration. It's kind of just getting into the sort of area of being an explorer, but it could do with a couple more light years in range. Other than that, it's not too bad. The internal compartments would allow you to fit an extra fuel tank and a fuel scoop, and then a couple. So it could be a discoverer. but there's probably better ships to do it with. But yeah, you could do exploration in a Cobra Mark 3. So guys, let's get this ship out and have a look at its gun placement, which is pretty obvious, I think. So speed wise, we're getting 280, just over 280, with a boost of 400 or so with the default equipment. So what we just need to do is set these on, because I didn't do that. So like I said, the gun placement was pretty obvious on this ship. The two medium points were directly at the front of the cockpit. Like I said, this will give you a very good targeting range with these. Like I said, you could mix gimbaled or fixed weapons there quite easily. As you can just see, they're just directly in front of the cockpit. The other two are underneath, and I might have to turn this around so you can actually see underneath. Hopefully that's got some light underside. Yeah, there they are. So the other hard points, which are small ones, are kind of at the back of the ship, from the far left and right, which should give you fairly good attack, but obviously the ones on the top are going to be your more important ones. Probably the best, I would recommend probably putting pulse lasers in the top and probably multi-cannons in the small points. Like I said, that should be good for shield and hull damage. Anyway guys, that's the Cobra Mark 3. Like I said, depending on what you want it for, I would probably edge towards the Viper in most circumstances, since 1.5, but it's kind of up to you. Anyway guys, take care and have fun.